All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday Kangen Water in-depth education webinar, Zoom get together is what we like to do. It's like-minded people like you and I from all around the world coming here live or watching this on the replay and just learning from each other, different modalities of beautiful health, and just passing it forward. They say, health and fitness go hand in hand, and beauty and happiness and joy. It all comes hand in hand, but we have to start somewhere. And I don't know if it's me, but I'm always looking for the shortest, most effective way to achieving anything. And whether that's good or bad, it's worked for me. And in health, same thing. I'm looking for the shortest, easiest, quickest way to, get that healthy body. So for me, what's a healthy body? It's, proper hydration, it's proper detoxification and proper utilization of what my body needs. The minerals, the vitamins, everything else, all the different modalities, the exercise, the fitness. What's the most effective exercise and fitness for myself? And I always ask, what's the best exercise for everybody out there? Well, that's up to you. Whether you like dancing, whether you like swimming, whether you like running, it's all up to you. And same thing. So in health, it's the same thing. It's all up to you. It's up to you to make that choice. It's up to you to make those changes, and it's up to you to get the results. Because what you do today will end up being your ultimate results tomorrow. I'm hoping that my tomorrows is healthier than my yesterdays. And I truly believe in the last 15 years of practicing better health, I truly am that. I just graduated another year around the sun. So I'm 55 years young, and I absolutely love, the energy, the movement, everything that I've learned in the last 15 years, and most importantly, put it into action. And it's because I've learned it from friends like you guys out there. And you guys have learned some things from me. But in the 15 years, I haven't learned it all. And I don't think anybody will ever learn it all. We continue to learn every single day. We have folks that are teaching this, whether they're on the allopathic side of medicine or naturopathic side, Ayurvedic side here. So we want it all. I want it all. So if you're here, we're in the right place, because there's something, I believe, for everybody here for better health. Speaking of better health, I've been sharing this, and my friend Jodie Kramer has been sharing this for the last decade or so. When I met her, she fell in love with this product so much that she said, you know what, Siha, I can't stop sharing this. I've got a full-time gig, I got a full-time job, but I love sharing this. I'm going to take on another full-time job. So she took on another full-time job by opening a water store, a hydration station is what she calls it. And you can see she's right there right now with at her store. And Jodie's going to be coming in, and she's going to give you such amazing information. She's put it together way better than I could ever do, and because there's so much information. So sit back, relax, and hear what Jodie has to say. Jodie, is your mic on? Are you ready to go, my dear?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
Here she
jacked
is,
up today.
the superstar of our show, Jodie Kramer. Here you go,
Oh,
sweetie.
all right, thanks, Siha. And he is absolutely right. When I first heard about this, you'll hear more about my story. I was super stubborn with my friend, and I was being a little difficult. But when I started seeing what I saw and started plugging in, I was like, I can't not share this with people. So I was running my mouth anyway. So I was like, hey, a couple of us decided let's lock arms and open a little spot here in our community. So it's been a really fun journey this whole time, and I look forward to the future with it too. So I'm gonna get my a PowerPoint up here and get it in presentation mode. There we go, super. And I think I need to, whoa, there they are. I gotta get my sound going. It's the share my sound. So we do have a couple little videos. I wanna make sure everybody can hear. So all right, we are, I want to share my sound. Okay, we'll go with stereo. Mono or stereo, I guess we'll take stereo. So anyways, thank you for being here this evening. And yeah, I'm super excited to meet the new folks. And as Siha mentioned, I have been on this journey for a while now. It'll be my 12-year anniversary is coming up here in a few weeks with my firstborn Kangen unit. that I got in August of 2012. So yeah, it just sparked the passion in me. So tonight we are going to talk about my passion, Kangen Water, and we're also going to talk about a magic because the two of those go hand in hand together. They are definitely joined at the hip. And as Thea mentioned, we're the hydration station. I do this also with my sister, who actually left the corporate world when she kind of found out in about 15 minutes that she was getting an opportunity to find a new career after they did some downsizing. So she decided, hey, instead of just running and getting a job, I know I could do it. I want to plug in with what you're doing and I want to help people full time. So my sister's alongside of me, and my other half, Ken Greenfield, is manning the stuff in the background for all of us. So we all collectively as a team, we share this and keep moving every day. So some housekeeping before we get too far. Everybody, if you want to share where you're from, that'd be super. Jolene and Rita are our co-hosts today because everybody is on mute. So pop your questions in the chat because they'll be checking the chat. They're going to be dropping links, they're going to be dropping resources. And at the end of the presentation, we're going to open the mics up. We can do more Q&A. We can bring things to the collective that maybe was sent privately that might be a benefit to hear. And most of all, you're here, we got a short period of time and a lot of information. So just sit back, learn, take notes, however you do that nowadays, and just enjoy your time with us this evening or wherever you're catching the replay. So the last disclaimer I just want to share is that the information here tonight or on the replay is really for educational purposes. My statements and the people supporting me here have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Okay. And so we're not meant to be any type of substitute for your medical doctors, your medical professionals. We're not here to diagnose, treat, cure, or whatever, but we are here to share with you our lived experience and our educational factual pieces that we want to bring to share with you tonight. So a little bit more, see, I was like, okay, I got a full-time day job and it's been in the information technology for the last 26 years, last 10 in the electronic health records field. So again, health and wellness, even though it's IT stuff. And my Kangen journey has been with me since 2012. And I love taking my knowledge from both spectrums, and I think it really helps round me out as an individual, as well as being able to present things and share and all of that. And what I will have to say is I could not have done what I've done and be where I'm at without Siha. So he's Mr. Modest a lot of times, but I met him in 2013 and we met at a big NAGIC event in Seattle in person. And we have just been moving forward together ever since. And so he's always there for us, whether we're walking, running, crawling, face planting, because sometimes that happens, to help pick us up and keep us going. So you're going to hear more from Seahawk when I get rounded up with what I'm going to be doing. So that will be a super exciting piece. And we are very blessed to have him with us here. So I'm not sure what brought you here or how you heard about Kangen Water or, what it was for, but oftentimes in the 12 years that we've been sharing this with folks, we find sometimes people are wanting to improve areas of their health. Maybe they came because they're like, I really want to try and help heal the planet. I've heard I can minimize plastics. I can stop using some chemicals, stuff like that. I can wash my fruits and vegetables. And we're like, yep, you're in the right place. Like, we're going to show you how all that can be done. And sometimes other people are just like, I'm tired of buying bottled water. I'm tired of packing it to my car. I'm tired of being, responsible and actually turning those in for recycling and or deposits, right? Because some people just throw them in the ditch or wherever and they, end up where they shouldn't be. So that's another reason we get brought on and met with people. Also, you might be like, I just want to enhance my overall wellness, right? Your vitality. And by default, we've seen a lot of people that end up enhancing their spirituality as well. Now, I did all of this simply by changing my water and changing my life with, of course, Kangen Water. And this sounds simple, like, okay, she changed her water, she changed her life. Like, that's super. But it was a process. My friend started on me in at least October, November of 2011. I was like, "You are not a water expert. You do not probably know what you're talking about. I don't know who twisted your arm to get this thing." Like, I really was like, "I don't know about what you're saying." I mean, I loved her. I know she's as brilliant as an entrepreneur and with her business mind and all of her ventures, but I was like, "I don't know about water." So she came back from Mexico and was no longer geographically impaired, so I could just keep blowing her off. And I went and saw something super similar to what you're going to see. I was really skeptical. I drug Ken with me to that. I'm like, if I got to go, I'm taking some people with me, right? It'd be miserable. Take everybody with you. So, but we were all just like pleasantly surprised. We opened our minds, our eyes, and we started to seeing some huge differences. So we're going to talk about Kangen water because that was really the catalyst to what started pivoting my type 2 diabetic journey. That was my friend's motivation as I had been diagnosed for 4 years, wasn't really on the trajectory that I wanted. Our mom passed in January of 2012 of type 2 diabetic complications. Our grandfather had it. Our mom was barely 63 years old. And so, anyways, if somebody's been bugging you or wanting you to see this, their heart's in the right place and they really do know something. So I put a little video together to kind of go over some of the things we'll be talking about this evening. I'm actually going to show you some stuff. So you'll see some combo of visuals, me doing stuff, me chatting. So let's take a look at this video and then I will come right back.
Imagine your body as a thriving ecosystem where every cell, every tissue, every organ is continually replenished and revitalized. Now picture this, around 60% of this ecosystem is water. Surprising, isn't it? Water, the elixir of life, forms the foundation of our very existence. Enter Kangen water, a revolutionary concept in health and hydration. More than just a drink, Kangen water is a lifestyle change, a commitment to a healthier, happier you. Kangen water, simply put, is ionized alkaline water. But it's much more than that. It's a powerful antioxidant, a cleanser, and a hydrator. It helps to neutralize free radicals, those pesky villains that cause aging and disease. It assists in flushing out toxins from our bodies, leaving us feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. But the benefits don't stop there. Kangen water, with its alkaline properties, helps balance our body's pH levels. In a world filled with processed foods and stress, where acidity is the norm, Kangen water provides a much-needed reprieve. It's like giving our bodies a mini detox every day. Keeping hydrated with Kangen water can also boost our energy levels and enhance our cognitive functions. It's like a fuel that keeps our bodies running smoothly and efficiently. And the best part? Kangen water is eco-friendly. By reducing our reliance on bottled water, we're not just improving our health, we're also doing our bit for the planet. So, are you ready to embark on a journey towards better health and hydration? Are you prepared to make a change, not just for yourself, but for the environment too? The path to wellness begins with Kangen water. So you are ready to take the first step? Great. Then you are in the right place and time to get started.
Absolutely. I was thinking to myself, change is one of the things that most of us like. They say change is always constant, but that really doesn't make us feel better sometimes if it's not, change that we want. And I really, in retrospect, like this was really the easiest change. Once I saw what I saw and saw the results that I was having, I was like, how simple is it just to swap out my water? It was wild. So, how did I do that? Well, I kind of want to level set a little bit. So, Kangen water actually comes from a water ionizer. This water ionizer that you see in front of you is called the Mighty K8. This is made by Enagic. That's why Kangen water and Enagic are unique to one another. Okay, they belong together. So the only way you're going to get Kangen water is out of an Enagic water ionizer. So this one here has 8 medical grade plates, and I'm saying medical grade for a reason. So kind of just check that in your, just kind of remember that. Also, there's 230 watts of power. That's really important. And it has an LCD touchscreen. So this is nice, like your smartphone, just real easy peasy to use. And it actually talks to you. This one does have 8 languages, but it talks to you while you're doing things to say, yeah, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what you need to do. It's really cool. And the reason I said that there was 8 medical grade plates is because Enagic is the only ionizer on the market that is considered a medical grade device in Japan. Additionally, they took the time, they took the effort. Instead of just kicking out a product out the door, they said, hey, we want to get these certifications. We want to be recognized for making sure like this is an amazing product that has international world recognized certificates. So it does have ISO 13485, and that's the same international standards organization that is doing medical grade equipment. They also set technology standards like cybersecurity standards. There's a lot of things that this does. So I really was excited with the fact that Enagic is a 50-year-old Japanese company. They've taken the time to get all of these special certifications, make it medical grade. Cause I'm like, I was focused on health, right? I'm going to consume this. I want the best absolute water possible. And so I got the Cadillac or whatever you want to call top of the line. So the neat thing is it does make 7 different waters. You're going to find out why that's important because we're going to talk about the first 3 waters, which are the 8.5, 9, and 9.5 that most people are kind of interested about right away, especially if they're like, I need more hydration, I need advanced hydration. Then it's usually those drinking waters. And then we have the other waters, and they are super important because at first I didn't really think much of them. I was like, okay, that can disinfect. That's great. This one can, emulsify stuff. Okay, this one I can use as an astringent. And it really wasn't until I had the machine about, I'm going to say 4 to 6 months. I realized I was already in knee deep, almost hip deep with this thing. And plus I was telling everybody. So I started using these waters, and we call them special waters for a reason, because there's so many different things that they can do for you throughout your entire household, your lifestyle. So we're going to talk about some of that too. So it is a water ionizer, and it is like, okay, well, what does that do if you're unfamiliar with it? Well, we are ionizing the water that goes into the Kangen unit. The really nice thing is they're just about the size of an overgrown Keurig. They sit right on your countertop. They hook to your water source. Super easy peasy. We also have some other little simple additions for installation that make them look really custom too, depending on what your kitchen's like or where you're at and living. So we've got all kinds of options. But the bottom line is we're taking that water from our source water. It could be tap water, well water, spring water, whatever water. There's a few requirements, but we help you out with that. It's real simple. And you just divert it through the machine. And this ionization process actually takes the water and it zaps it, and it changes its size, shape, and structure to make it like living water, like water was originally. There's some places around the world where they say that they have like healing water, like Lourdes, France, Tecate, Mexico. There's places where people make pilgrimages to get this water. And the common thing with this is it's highly alkaline. It is got a negative charge. It's like a living water. And we're able to do this by running it through this ionization process. So let's watch this, and this is really fast. So don't blink or don't get up to use the restroom. You might miss it and have to go back. So hold on here.
One of the most important things to understand about water ionizers are the plates. Enagic uses solid titanium plates, individually cut to size and then coated in platinum. And the SD501 has 7 of the largest plates in the industry. The plates are important because these plates are then charged with electricity, becoming the engine of the ionizer. When the water passes over the plates, the minerals in the water are separated into 2 streams of water, one alkaline and one acidic. The more plate surface area and the more power you can apply to the plates, the better the separation and the better the quality of the ionized water.
Okay, so this is why the plates are important. The quality of the plates is super important. The Enagic ones are titanium, medical grade titanium, 99.999% pure, with medical grade platinum, and it's hydro bonded on them. They're solid, they're not mesh. They have a lot of surface area for the water to travel across. I know I want this back right about, I'm gonna go here. So this part of the deal mentioned that the SD501 has 7 plates. That's what the unit behind me is. It helped prepare the water for our time tonight. It's an 8-year-old unit. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to call it 9 because it's gonna be approaching it. But anyways, these are the actual plates that are inside of an SD501. And if you know what a VHS tape is, or a medium-sized little, book, that's the size of these things. They're just robust. They are just bulletproof things. These little gizmos here, these are what are called, the plates out of what they like to say they're competitors. Okay. So they're, when you get on the internet, if you've already been there, you're going there, or you're there right now, and you're looking up water ionizers, they're all over the place. Okay. So there's a lot of places that make them. And, but there's a huge difference in the quality, in the type of plates. And when they're tiny and small like this, like a deck of cards, if you kind of think of that, and they're mesh, they expand and contract, they heat up because you're putting power to them. So we've had a lot of folks that were like, hey, my husband says I need to go get this or whatever instead. And 3 to 6 months, they're back and they're getting the Enagic unit. So I just wanted to share a little bit about it because the big cost of these units is the metals inside of them, the technology, the power, because the power source is amazing as well. And just how the machine cleans itself. It does all kinds of things. Like these are designed to last 15 to 30 years. And we right here have seen 17 to 18-year-old machines. And I'm going to tell you, that machine came in the door and it did not look like it had been taken care of very well. It was missing hoses. It was it was a mess. But hey, we put some pieces back on it and we tested it out, and that thing was really just rocking the amazing
One of the most
water that was coming out of that thing. So I was like, wow, that was super cool. So we're going to talk about the 859 and 95 first. They're the drinking waters. And again, they're called Kangen water because they come out of a Enagic water ionizer. So I want you to think of Kangen water is the brand name. It's kind of like there's different cars out there. You might have Chevy, Mercedes, Rolls Royce, a Kia, okay? But they all have their brand names, right? But they're all kind of cars. So Kangen Water is the brand name to Enagic. And if you are going to go researching, because tonight we're here to give you a lot of information. And if you're watching this replay, you'll be able to back and forth yourself and be able to also get extra information, okay? And we want you to get the right information. So Kangen water being the brand name, the scientific name, because this is actually ionization is a process, a scientific process. And the name for that water is electrolyzed reduced water or electrolyzed restructured water, ER water, ERW water. You might hear any of those names. I want you to go to Google Scholar. I want you to go to PubMed, the official US scientific website for studies, peer reviews, case studies, clinical studies, like all these different things. And I want you to look for these terms that are up here, these right here, because that's going to show you and help you find the actual things that has been out there, that people have learned about this water and what the efficacy is of it. Because when you create this water, it has an extreme antioxidant property. It's got a negative charge. We're going to show you. It is highly alkaline, depending on what button you've pressed and what you're wanting to do with it. But for the drinking waters, it's highly alkaline. It is microclustered. That's where the superior hydration comes from. And as a bonus, it has active hydrogen. Now, hydrogen seems to be one of the latest buzzwords out there, these little hydrogen bottles that you're supposed to pay a few $100s for and supposedly give you all this hydrogen. We are the grandfather of all ionization, active hydrogen, and the best way to get active hydrogen on a consistent, stable basis is out of, in my opinion, the Enagic units, okay? So we're going to talk about these properties so you understand kind of why they're important and the impact they have to your health and what maybe your goals are that you're trying to achieve. So free radicals and antioxidants. So what is a free radical? Well, they're damaging little molecules. They react with our DNA. They can cause cellular damage. The cells will lose their integrity. They might even die at some point. And free radicals come from a variety of places. So they can come from external things such as, smoking, pollution, too much sunlight, the different microwave rays, cell phone rays, pollution, all those kind of things. Additionally, the body does create some free radicals with the processes because our body is this machine in itself that is doing all kinds of functions inside it to keep us going on this journey. Well, free radicals are basically like an unbalanced molecule. It's not, I say it's not exactly their fault. They just are missing an electron. And so they know they need to be balanced. They know they got a problem. So we want to make sure they have enough electron donors, or AKA antioxidants, available to them so they can grab those, neutralize themselves, and kind of make their journey out the body and wherever they're headed, right? But if we don't have enough of them, of the antioxidant reserves, they're going to snatch those things from healthy cells. And the healthy cells are like, stop it. What are you doing? Like, stop taking my electrons. Like, so we want to give our body antioxidants. That's why a lot of folks, and whether they're doctors, naturopaths, just your neighborhood farmer, promote eating fruits and vegetables because a lot of those have antioxidants in them, such as blueberries, green tea. People take vitamin C when you're sick, you're loading yourself with antioxidants, right? That's the theory. So with Kangen water, you get antioxidants glass after glass to help fight off and neutralize these free radicals. And when we neutralize the free radical damage, we can, in essence, kind of slow the aging process because we're just aging on a daily basis. We're just getting, oxidizing or whatever, rusting like a pipe, right? We just want to keep ourselves in as tip-top shape as possible. So by doing this, we're able to really get the body to one of the next levels. So how are we going to tell? I brought some beverages tonight. I brought a few different ones that we're going to check out, and we're going to see, do they have a negative charge or do they have a positive charge? And we're going to use this chart right here in front of us, and we're going to use a little meter that looks just like this one. These are available all over the place. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at your fish stores. They're like readily available. They're called an ORP meter, oxidation reduction potential meter. We want to see, do these liquids have a negative charge, meaning they have antioxidants, they're good for the body, they're health giving. Green tea, like I said, vitamin C, cod liver oil, ate lots of that when I was a kid from my grandmother, who was way ahead of her time. And of course, my little buddy here, the Kangen unit. Now, anything that's got a positive charge, okay, that's going to be oxidative to the body. And believe it or not, bottled water, tap water are usually positive, but we're going to double check tonight, just in case I might be wrong, right? And also the sodas. We're going to check some sodas and like some energy stuff, and we're going to see what these actually have in them. So I'm going to go ahead and put my keyboard down. I'm going to stop sharing because I want this to be a little bit larger so you can actually see something instead of that tiny little window. All right, little participant pane, close up. So, all right, there we go. Okay, so I forgot to get more cups. So I was scrounging around trying to find all of my cups. And so if we have some random looking cups tonight, that's why. Anyways, but I do have enough of these for the first part. Anyways, so we're going to put these little cups up here, and I brought some things for us to check out. I found these cute little guys in Albertsons. Everything comes from Albertsons or Safeway, maybe Walmart or Amazon. So like I have kind of narrowed my circle since the pandemic of where I go and where I get things. But I thought these, like, no wonder kids and people think they're cute. Look how tiny that little thing is. But actually it's 7.5 ounces. We're going to use this and see if 7-Up has any antioxidants in it. I also saw this, and I've seen a lot of advertising on this. It says Prime. And Jolene and Rita, does this read correctly for you? Okay, super. It looks backwards for me, and Zoom did a big old update trying to be helpful. And so I'm like, did I need to reset my mirror settings? So this says it's an energy drink, says it has electrolytes, 0 sugar, and it's vegan friendly. Okay. So we're going to put a little in here. We're going to see if we have antioxidants. It's giving us energy and doing some stuff like what's it got going on in there. Now I got some Aquafina. I haven't had Aquafina for a while. So I made sure to get some of this. This is by Pepsi Cola. And a lot of these bottled waters, this is going to represent pretty much all standard bottled waters. And oftentimes they're just actually bottled at a municipal system. I mean, it's not like they're making water. So they're getting it from somewhere. And a lot of times it's not that cute little mountain right there. I can tell you that for sure. Also, those waters, bottled waters and sodas are governed by the Food and Drug Administration. So kind of a lighter framework on reporting and requirements. Whereas the Sheridan tap water, where we're located here, which is providing water to the homes, the businesses, we have a federal prison here, super exciting. Anyways, but this is governed by the state and federal environmental protection agencies. Okay, so they have a lot larger regulatory framework, a lot more mandatory reporting that has to be done and testing. And this here is the Kangen Water 9.5 out of that unit right there. And the same Sheridan water, but it's just had an opportunity to be diverted through the Kangen unit and readjusted to make it more healthy and life-giving for us. So I mentioned I had a meter, and I do. It's got a really long cord because we used to, when we had people here in person all the time, I could give them the meter and backwards and let them read it. So anyways, got the cord. Okay, so this is the meter and we're gonna drop it in the, I got a fan on, so try not to mess with my whatever, but anyways, TMI. You're always in the TMI zone, Tuesday TMI zone when you come here. So, okay, we've got about a 270. Now, like the picture showed, we're looking for a dash right here. We're looking for a little dash to be right there. That there's a dash, it's got a negative charge. It's got antioxidants. There's definitely no dash, okay? So let's go to this prime stuff. Oh, look at that. That's actually a little better. Well, that's good to know. Well, but guess what? There's still no dash on it. It's still a positive, okay? And they consider this an energy drink that's good for you. Okay, now we're gonna go to Aquafina. Let's see what that has. All right, well, look at that. The prime energy drink with 0 sugar, somehow that tastes amazing, was, positive 50, okay? Well, this one's like a positive 400. That's a brand new container too. I just got this like last week. And the crazy thing is, I don't even know where it's at. See, I was probably like, come on now, Jodie, really? But there's a date on, oh, there it is. The date is, let's see, April 13th of 2026. So this is supposed to stay good in that container for what, 2 years? And it's already oxidative. And, heat, light, sun, motion, things like that affect the water. So imagine what that's going to be like if it's at a positive 400 today, what it'll be like in 2 years, right? It might be better than 0, but that'd be about it. Okay, this is the Sheridan water, and here we go. Now that has got to be a 500. Yeah, okay, so it's going up, but hey, I mentioned that it is the Environmental Protection Agency. They got real heavy framework. They're given lists of things that are allowed to be put in the water to treat it, to make it clear, to kill germs, to you're going to see how it affects its alkalinity. So oftentimes it makes the water very oxidative to the body. Okay. Now this is the same water, but ran through the Enagic unit behind me. That we got a negative 600. I mean, this is living water, so it's bouncing around. But look at that. That quickly, by just diverting that through that unit. In addition, the unit does have a filter in it. So I always kind of joke that sometimes people will be like, oh, that's just a water filter. I'm like, no, bonus, it has a filter in it because it takes out chlorine, and impurities, things like that. But it goes across these plates and it zaps it. It's kind of, you think of lightning zapping a tree and just fragmenting it into all these pieces and allowing it to be smaller. Well, that's what it does to the water. And it's just wild. So that simple. When we're talking about change being easy, like that easily, I was able to save money for one, because I got rid of any bottled water I was drinking, but mainly I also got rid of my diet sodas. So I had a little diet soda addiction, evidently, which I found out. And so it was just great. I mean, it really is. Okay, so we're going to talk about the alkalinity next, because all these properties go together synergistically to support the body. I've been taking some new classes and learning some new software as a service systems. And I've been meeting some new people, and a lot of them are in the health, field. More and more people are coming on to wanting to help others, whether it's essential oils, whether it's supplements, whether it is food, and what I love about what I do is I can resonate with every one of them, because I know that by hydrating the body properly and getting these kind of things in it, all of those other things that we do that are important for the body, like it gets uptake and utilized so much better. Like you now have the proper foundation for all these other pieces you're putting into your body to be even more phenomenal. So the alkalinity, why is this important? Well, as the video showed, there's so many things that are acid forming in our environment. There's so many foods that are acid forming. There's processed foods, ultra processed foods. And even as you can see here, some foods that, some might not necessarily think are that bad for them are acidic. Okay. So if the body has too much acidity, it will lead to inflammation. Inflammation is just too much acidity of the body. And if there's too much inflammation left unmitigated for an extended period of time, it's going to manifest into some sort of disease or symptom or something, because disease is really just dis-ease. You're not at ease. Okay. So we want to give the body, like we want to give it extra antioxidant reserves, right? We want to do the same thing with the alkalinity. Okay. And I'm going to show you here, are these going to be considered acidic or are they going to be considered alkaline? Okay. We're going to use this scale. This one goes from 0 to 14. 7 is in the middle. Anything above 7 is considered alkaline. So good for the body, good for you, health supporting, all that. Anything below 7 is going to be considered acidic to the body. And as you'll see down here on this slide, this says 7.365 equals the blood pH, in parentheses, alkaline. Okay, so if 7's neutral and anything above 7 is considered alkaline, our blood has to be maintained at 7.365 to 7.45. If there's too much acidity in the body uses alkaline buffers that we were born with to continue on this balancing act that it goes through day in and day out, whether it's the blood or whether it's other things. That's what it does. And we now have so much more processed foods and so much more acidic things, and even just stress causes acidity in the body. Okay, we know from the pandemic, fast forward, wherever you're at on the spectrum of belief there, that was a stressful time for people, stressful time for families, and that stress caused acidity in the body. Okay, even exercising causes acidity, lactic and uric acids that the muscles will produce, and we want to get those out of the body. Well, by consuming simply the 9.5 is usually where most folks get to, but we'll help you get to wherever you need to be. You can start balancing out all of these things that are acid forming that we come into contact with, or that we produce in our body, or that we eat. Okay. Now, this scale is a tiny bit different than the other one. The other one was just kind of traditional math, where this was, a positive. We'll just be nice to it, 600, right? We know it's higher. Let's just say 600 positive, 600 negative. Okay. That's a 1,200 point difference. Okay. Well, this scale is a little different because we're only going from 0 to 14. Okay. And it is logarithmic. So if you could kind of think of like an earthquake scale, you hear like, oh my God, they had an 8.5 earthquake. Like that is significantly damaging. Or maybe they had a 2.5 earthquake. Well, it's only a difference of like 6, but because it compounds, it is hugely, vastly different. So When you look at 7 being neutral, anything that is below is acidic, but like 2.5, for example, is 50,000 times more acidic than 7. And our blood is just right over 7, right? Slightly alkaline. Also, 11.5, which the machine makes, is 50,000 times more alkaline than 7. Now, this is how I can throw a half gallon of 11.5 Kangen strong water in my laundry, and it works phenomenal with no detergent. Okay, it's 0 detergent, and it smells like just this clean. It's hard to explain the smell it has, but it is so clean and just natural. I mean, dog orders anyway. So it's so powerful. These strong waters, we call them strong for a reason. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stop my sharing, and I'm going to grab my, whoops, I thought I had there we go. All right. Well, anyways, I told people last week, when you start doing demos, or if you're going live and doing social media stuff, I'm addicted to drops, because it's like, I got to make sure I have enough. I'm like, I don't want to get withdrawals with no drops. So the pH drops, you can get them on Amazon, you get them anywhere. I got these from Enagic, but they are phenol red, phenol blue, scientific name for them, or the name for them. Okay. So they measure from 0 to 14. That's why it's important, if you are going to go on social media or find a new vlogging thing you want to do, that you have the right ones so you get the right results. So I'm going to be slightly quiet. I'm going to try and put the same amount in each one of these so they can turn some colors of the rainbow for us. All right. I believe that I have 8 in each one of them. So if you're catching this on the replay, you can pause it and slow it and zoom it. But I try to keep, and why is that important? You're probably like, okay, well, I didn't really need to know that. Well, you might if you're in the skeptic club. Okay, like I could have been the founder of the 6-month skeptic club that my friend Sheila had ensued me to form, because when I went and saw this, I was like, what are they doing? How many drops is he putting in this? Like, what is all, are they all the same? Are they all equal? You know, I mean, I was like I really went with a negative mindset. But nonetheless, I try to think back, because, you know, we all kind of relate. We've all had buyer's remorse. Like, how many of us have bought something on an infomercial and we're just like, oh my God, this is gonna be great. And you get home and it's like, okay, well, there's my Zumba in the box still, like, you know, 12 months later, or whatever that shake weight. I bought one of those too. So I'm sure they'd have been fine if I'd have used them. But anyways, I want to try to keep things as, you know, consistent as I can. Okay. So we don't have my slide up, but we do have this cute little thing. And this has got some thumbs up and thumbs down. So it'll make it easy for us to know good, bad. So 7-Up, acidic on the frowny face side, right? Get a hold of this thing, fly on my hand. This is the prime, the electrolytes and all of that good stuff. And it is acidic, not good for the body. This one here, that is the Aquafina. Now, this one is the most alarming to me, because it is acidic. Okay. We've been sold to, we've been told to, we've been shamed, we've been blamed, we've been whatever with bottled water. If we haven't got on board, we haven't embraced it, we don't have it at all our events, when friends come over. Okay, well, there was no antioxidants in it. It's acidic. Okay, like those are 2 not good things for us. And we know that they don't always come from this spring. So like, I'm not real impressed with this one out of all of the 5. Okay, so I'll step back from the box, my soapbox a little bit. This is the Sheridan, and it is neutral. And that is great, because it's supposed to be neutral. It is part of their framework, the regulatory. If it's not at neutral, if it's not at 7, they will be heavily fined. They do not want this rusting or oxidizing the pipes, you know, like rusting the pipes. So they give them things like, or not give them, but they give them a list, right? The list I talked about of stuff they can put in it. So like ash, lye, things that are cheap and inexpensive to boost the alkalinity. Okay. So that's great and all, and there's chlorine in it on top of it, right? And so that's fine. But when it gets to me at my household or my place of business, I don't want the chlorine, and I don't want some of those things to be consuming them. So by running it through the unit, it takes out the chlorine, it takes out the things it doesn't need, and it turns it into this amazing thumbs up water. So this is how easily it happens. Now, if you've been consuming these other things and you start drinking Kangen water, can you balance yourself out? You absolutely are. It only thing that's going to make a difference is what you were drinking and where you started at to begin with. Okay. So if you've been drinking soda, it's just going to take a little bit longer. No big deal. Like, it took you a while to get here. Okay. Like, it took me a while. It took me, let's see, how old was I? Must have been like 42, something like that. 41 or 2. Anyways, to get to be type 2 diabetic in the hospital with an A1C of almost 11. And I'm saying that with a smile on my face now because, you know, I'm 53 now. I have an A1C of like 6.4. That was just like a month ago. And yeah, I do have some allopathic means, but you know what? We all bolt on what we need to. We use the things we can to minimize stuff. And I'm just really happy and proud. Like, I think that that is a great number. And anyway, so this is a no judgment zone as well. So like, don't feel like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm perfect, because I wasn't, and none of us are. But we all just, we learn and we start somewhere. Okay. So we're here. We're going to help you. We're going to coach you. We're going to give you tools, support, whatever it is you need to meet the goals that you're trying to with bringing Kangen water into your life. So if you've got a nice balanced body and you start drinking just a little bit of this, you're going to unbalance yourself pretty quick. So moral of the story is, stop drinking the sodas and stop wasting money on these things. Get your Kangen unit. You will be right on your way to happy times, and you're going to save time too. So I'm going to show you the microclustering. And this one is probably, they're hard to say which one is like the absolute best. But I do believe that the hydration, actually getting into your cells and into the body, is probably the most important thing, because it drags along with it the rest of the elements. And when I say elements, I just mean the other properties, right? So when we change its size and shape, we're making it smaller. Water's pretty cool. It can be a solid like ice cubes. It can be a liquid like out of the unit, or it can be a gas. So if you boil something too long and it looks like it's gone, it's actually a gas in the air, because it has just become so small that that's where it's at. So the Kangen water is about 6 times more hydrating than what I call large waters that limit absorption. These can penetrate, hydrate, and rejuvenate. A lot of rhyming, like I'm doing a poem. The cells. The body, again, as we saw at the beginning, 60% water at a minimum. We are water beings. Most things are, whether you got fur babies, even your plants, things like that. They can't live without water, okay? So we get the proper hydration. Now we got the proper foundation, and we can start doing all the other things. Now, the cells that we have, we've got trillions of them. They're made up of water. They're surrounded by water. They depend on water all day long. Okay, so this is a healthy, happy, hydrated blood cell. It's smooth, it's buoyant, it has a negative charge, it's repellent, it's free flowing. This one, on the other hand, is oxidized. It is not hydrated. It has got jagged edges. Like, it looks like it can catch on other blood cells. They actually can stack up in what's called a rouleau effect. And, you know, we really don't want our blood, to the best of my knowledge, stacking up at all. We want it free flowing. We have miles of transport system for the blood, and it needs to get where it's going. It needs to deliver the things it needs to do. It needs to usher out the stuff it doesn't need. It works with the lymphatic system to also get things out. So if we have the right type of water and hydration in the body, these cells can perform much more, have a better chance to perform optimally than this poor little fellow over here. So I am going to show you how the superior hydration works. And I have a little tea bag I'm going to use because we're going to be a little creative tonight. I don't have a microscope or anything like that. Nothing fancy. So this is just a green tea, Amazon. And what I'm going to do is I want you to pretend, I called it a tea body last week, and that's really what I want you to pretend. We're going to take the tea bag out, and we're going to kind of think of it as our body, the bag as the actual exterior of our body, the tea leaves inside, like the cells inside our body. Can I hydrate, detox? Can I do what I need to do to this tea bag with my expensive or pricey Aquafina? Let's give you a little more just to be anyhow. Okay, now, if you're like, why in the world do you think you can make tea without boiling it? Well, the reason why is boiled water is just smaller in size. When the water molecules excite, they get, I don't know, why is this foaming? That's weird. I did this the other day too. Anyways, they get smaller in size and they get into your foods. They get your pastas cooked. They boil eggs. They do all kinds of things. They make tea. They make coffee. Okay. Well, this room temperature Aquafina is not really making or hydrating this tea body. We get the same amount, right? Because the Skeptic Club might be here. And look at that. I didn't even dunk it around like this one. And it went right in, went right to work. We got green tea coming out. We're hydrating the body. We're detoxing. We're doing all the things we want to do. Okay, well, when I saw this, I thought, one, the bag wasn't wet. Two, the bag was wet. So now that it's finally wet, let's put some Sheridan water back on top of it and see if we can, if it'll continue to hydrate, right? Because I finally got it wet. And it's definitely looking about like the first one. So when I saw this, I was like, well, it really was all used up. And again, this was one of the days of my life that I was really happy to be wrong, because being wrong, this is one of the things that was the biggest benefit of being wrong. So again, now when you're making tea and coffee with it, because we recommend you use Kangen water wherever you use regular water, right? Or bottled water, you're going to get twice as much mileage out of your tea bag or your Keurig cup or your coffee grounds. Okay. You can make really cheap coffee taste pretty phenomenal with just using the 9.5 Kangen water. Now, what I want to show you is these two didn't look like they really hydrated or did anything, but what happens if I start putting in the Kangen water in it? See that? So the deal is, just like with big water, when we're consuming it in our body, it's not able to get in and go to work. Okay. The tea leaves were in here. It's just that big water couldn't get in and really do anything with it. So this is pretty wild. And this is simply by just glass after glass, you're getting all four of these properties along with the active hydrogen. When you have your machine sitting on your counter, I always tell people fresh is literally the best. And that's not a sales tactic. It's the truth. And so if you're home and you've had your glass out for a while, go get a fresh one right out of the machine. Throw that water on your plant or something that wants to have 9.5 and get yourself some fresh, because the most effective this water's properties are is right out of that unit. The active hydrogen's the highest, the antioxidants are the highest, the small size is at its optimum, and the alkalinity. So just saying, it's really important. We have all the hacks, the ins and outs of how you can make getting your unit and implementing it the best. We're going to help you not have to go through hurdles that others might. Okay. We have like over 50 collective years of just the folks that are here with me today. Okay. So chemical free, no more plastics other than a one-time purchase and use it over and over and over again. 11.5, 2.5, and 6.0 were able to accomplish this for me. Additionally, without having to use plastic bottles and as many plastic items, I was able to minimize some of the microplastics that we come into contact with. They're actually DNA sized. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these, but you're definitely able to catch it from the replay. Pause it, screenshot it, and some of the links. Jolene and Reed are probably popping those in as well. But all of these were from the Epoch Times or Epoch Times, as well as ChatGPT. ChatGPT, this information is just what it took as a summary from the article. The same as this one, microplastics in the cardiovascular and brain health. Now this slide right here though, and ChatGPT put this out, not me, I didn't ask it to do that, but mitigation, reduce plastic use, okay. But this part here, use antioxidants and omega-3s to counteract the effects. Well, we just saw how easy it is. I mean, one glass of Kangen water will give you more antioxidants than the most blueberries that you could even possibly think of eating in a day. Okay, and then the double benefit is you're still going to eat the blueberries because they're phenomenal nature's M&Ms, right? So you get immediate antioxidants when the blueberries get to the point where the body is passing those off after it's digested and whatever, you got all kinds of antioxidants going on. And so again, microplastics in the male reproductive, we ingest evidently a credit card worth a week, a AA size battery in a month. And the Kangen water has a lot of pieces that help combat the effects of microplastics, in addition to all the other things we've talked about already. Now, to come up with some of this information, these are the literal links. So if you're catching this on the replay and you don't have access to the chat or that area, you can literally screenshot this, throw it in ChatGPT, and it will give you the exact links that you can just go click on. I did it this week. So the 2.5 water, we call these strong waters for a reason because they're very powerful. This kills 99.999% of all bacterias and germs. Hypochlorous acid, that is the scientific name for strong acidic Kangen water 2.5. Okay, so when you're on PubMed, Google Scholar, look up hypochlorous acid and you'll see how it can do all of these things here. I use it every day. It's just crazy. I don't use hydrogen peroxide. I don't use any of that stuff. Okay, now the opposite end of the spectrum is 11.5. It emulsifies things. We saw that on one of the first slides. And why I'm showing you this here is the agriculture business uses oil-based pesticides, insecticides, and herbicides, so they do not wash off the produce when they irrigate and or it rains. When they apply this stuff, they're dressed in this kind of outfit. They're not going out on the town. They're not going to the beach. Okay, they're in very protective, suited up wear. Okay, it's not good for the body. So when the produce gets harvested, it makes its way to the store, it makes its way into my grocery cart or into my box that's coming to my house. Oftentimes they have the oil-based stuff is still on them. Now, I don't really want to eat oil-based pesticides and whatever, okay? So we're going to show you how the 11.5 will remove these from your fruits and vegetables. You can also use it to degrease and clean your stovetops, counters, whatever. Many ways to use it in cooking, marinating meats, laundry, first aid type skincare, sunburns, bruises, cuts, burns, like regular burns. So many things that we can do with these strong waters. So rather than just totally just tell you about it, I want to show you, and this is where we're going to look for my other cups that I need. Lord. Okay, well, we're going to start with these. We're going to make this work. So we have some little tomatoes from Albertsons and Safeway. I'm going to put some in there and I'm going to put some in here, about the equal amount. So I'm going to put tap water on these because we're always told take your fruits and wash stuff before you eat it, right? Okay, so now I have 11.5 that I made fresh out of the machine behind me. And I use the word fresh for a reason because I prefer to use fresh 11.5 for my fruits and vegetables because the higher the alkalinity, the higher the antioxidant value to it. So in addition to removing oil-based pesticides and whatever, it can infuse them with the antioxidants. Your fruits and vegetables, depending on which ones they are, will last longer. You'll get longer shelf life, less spoilage. Restaurants love it because, it helps them to mitigate losing as much food and things like that that goes bad. And yeah, it's pretty wild. So we're gonna let these sit there. Now I have some oil, sesame oil, and I'm gonna put some in each of these cups. And I want to see if I can have oil and water mixed, because I told you that I clean with it, that it emulsifies things, that it I can use it on my stove top. Okay. Well, for cleaning purposes, I like to have mine handy in my single purchase spray bottle. I've had this for years, literally. Okay, here's the shared water. We're gonna put this in here and see, does the water and oil mix? Because, you know, when I saw this and they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to see if oil and water can mix. I'm like, that doesn't mix. Like, I did pay attention in science class with Mr. Bishop, and it doesn't mix up. So as you can see, it's floating on top. Let me get this off here. And put that here. So we're going to take this one and pour the 11.5 in this one so I can get it all over. And look at that. That quickly, it broke it up and it emulsified the oil. Okay. Went right for it. This is why they use 11.52 in like soups, different vinaigrette dressings and stuff like that, because it will help keep stuff mixed up easier. So we've got cooking books and how to do all that kind of great stuff. But this is how I'm able to clean with it on my stovetop. Okay. So I'm going to set these aside. And I'm going to dump this out, because I need a couple cups. This is how you can tell it's real. I'm slinging water everywhere. One day I got up and slammed the drawers around. So, other thing I want to show you, you're not here. Okay, so you can't really tell what is this. This could be a clear chemical as far as you know, right? Well, it's not. Because I definitely wouldn't drink a chemical. And like I said, the last 2 weeks, I do have places to go and things to do. We had a little hiccup with things. And so I've got to go get groceries and do a whole bunch of different stuff afterwards. So I'm not going to urgent care. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm like, I'm on a mission and this is not going to set me back at all. So Enagic does not endorse drinking 11.5 or 2.5, disclaimer. Okay. But I just want to show you that if your kids or your pets or whatever get into it, you're not going to be running immediately to the hospital. If anything, they're going to get some diarrhea. Okay, so here's the water off these. And here's the water off these. Wow, I didn't spill it all over, amazingly. Okay, can you see the difference in those two? This is yellow, hence probably some dye. This is got nothing on it. Although I will say that this also doesn't have any chlorine in it anymore, because these tomatoes soaked it up. So if you're buying your produce at the store and you have chlorine in your tap water, do not go home and just throw your fruits and vegetables under it, because it just soaks up in those things, just like it soaks up on your skin when you're in the shower or whatever. Also go to Lowe's or Home Depot, Amazon, whatever, get an inline shower chlorine remover to get it off your skin. Okay. So that was just an extra tidbit of PSA, public service announcement. But this is what comes off these things. These are smoother. They're cleaner. These still feel waxy. There's a huge taste difference. I actually tasted them the other day and I'm not doing that again because these were nasty in comparison to these. So this is all of the crazy things that, and I say crazy because it seems crazy, but it really does. It does all this stuff and then some. We're just scraping the surface, the very tip of the tiny iceberg that sticks out of the water tonight. So with that, a couple more things. We are able to do all of this with just one of these units. This one here is a SD501 Platinum, 7 plates in it, 230 watts of power. If you got a stainless kitchen, it looks fantastic. But the one that really resonated with me was really this one on the bottom, because I love to help people. Obviously, I took this on top of my full-time job to help people with, and I've stayed committed to it. And so when you get your unit, you can share it with your friends, your family, anybody within water shot, right? Where you can super soak them with Kangen water. It's awesome. So ask yourself if anything I told you tonight, even just a couple things, was even remotely true, right? Like, what would that be worth to you? For me, again, I said up front in the beginning, I was being difficult for my friend. I thought it was expensive. I didn't think she knew what she was talking about, yada, 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 right? Well, I had to kind of have a lot of self-awareness and realize that, guess what? I was worth it. I needed to be on a different path, and this thing made the difference for me. So I decided I'm buckling on my, like an oxygen mask first. I buckled on my Kangen unit first. And I got rid of all of these liabilities because these add up. We don't think about it when we throw them individually in our cart or buy them individually online, but they add up. Even just the bottled waters, you can see some numbers here. So I want to play a quick video about Enagic because I did say in the very beginning that these two go hand in hand. And the beauty is you get all of us, you get your friend, you get your person you're following, whoever it is, you get us to help you. But beyond us is Enagic, the company with a heart, the company with passion, the company that makes sure this is available worldwide. Everybody around the world can get this unit. We have service centers. There's physical location, brick and mortar buildings where people can come to and learn, and the servicing from the stuff. I mean, it's great. And so I just want to play a little bit about what the company is so you can really kind of see what we see. Oops, help if I hit the button.
Enagic, a global pioneer of water ionization technology since 1974. Spanning over 5 decades, from humble beginnings in Japan to a global stage, Enagic's unwavering commitment to quality and innovation is evident. We've sold more than 2 million ionizers, transforming countless lives into healthier, happier ones. Enagic's financial stability, being a debt-free company, is not just a testament to our success, but also to our commitment to you and future generations. We're here for the long haul, ensuring the benefits of Kangen Water continue to flow. Each machine is certified to the highest standards, reflecting our commitment to quality and excellence, including International Standards Organization, ISO 13485 certification as a medical-grade device. As well, it is approved as a medical device by the Japanese Ministry of Health and Welfare and endorsed by the Japanese Association of Preventive Medicine for Adult Disease. Enagic is the gold standard for water ionizers worldwide. Enagic has offices in 25 countries and 42 locations, making this life-changing water accessible to everyone. Enagic is an original equipment manufacturer, and every machine is assembled by one technician for the utmost quality and controls in our medical-grade factory in Japan. Units have a 25 to 30-year lifespan. Other ionizers claim to be cheaper, better, or whatever, and the whatever is the case. Inferior products, metals and technology made in Korea, China, and many brands made by one company, and Enagic is the only medical-grade ISO 13485 water ionizer. Together with Enagic, we can set a course towards enhanced wellness and sustainability. Thank you for exploring the world of Kangen Water with us. Here's to a healthier, happier, and sustainable world.
Right.
Enagic.
There we go. So these are the products that we saw tonight. The K8, the SD501, like behind me, and the Platinum, which I do have one of those at home in my kitchen. My firstborn is in the bathroom, my master bathroom, so I have it handy for me. These are the current prices. These are the easy ways to get it. So what I'd recommend for next steps, we find folks kind of, resonate with different groups of thought. One might be, you're like, that's nice, kind of forget about it. It's not really for me. And that's okay, because time means everything. And so I'm going to go with not now, because people come back. They watch silently. They watch and they see, and you stick with it, and people come back. And then we're just blessed to be able to help them. So if you're there, we're going to be looking forward to seeing you eventually. If you're like, okay, I got it, I know what it is, I am ready to move forward, get with whoever invited you or brought you here, or however you saw this replay, and they will help you get an order link or get your paperwork to get your unit coming. Like I said, they come in about a week. So super quick. Also, if you're in this group, you're like, I got some questions, I want to get back with who invited me. That's super. definitely do that. You're more than welcome to come back next week on Tuesday. We will be here again doing this, and we're happy to take your questions and any extra thoughts you might have come up with. And lastly, we have the green S for many reasons. This is where I am going to turn it over to Siha, because there are so many things that are above and beyond what I've talked about and what is possible for people that I want you to hear from the absolute best. So with that, thank you all for being here, for sticking with us. And Siha, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you so much, Jodie. As always, phenomenal job. All that information packed down to this, just a smidge, just at an hour's time. Thank you so much. I want to continue with the health because our health is our wealth. If I can just share my screen for a moment here. For those of you that are practicing better health or good health, it just doesn't end with the hydration that we talked about. It's nutrition, it's exercise, it's mental health. It goes all the way into your bathroom health as well. And that is when you're, let me get it right here. When I'm talking about bathroom health, is our company makes a water filter that pulls out the contaminants that you might be showering in. Not only that you were drinking, Jodie showed you all the contaminants you're drinking, whatever the contaminants that she showed you that you're ingesting in a form of it, you're absorbing it when you're showering. Your pores open up, the hot steam, the chlorine, you're inhaling it. Well, the company makes an amazing a NESPA is what it's called, and it filters out the contaminants in the water, and it changes the structure of the water as well. There's magnets in it that change the structure of the water, and like instead of electricity for safety. There's also a clay rod in the middle of it, and the clay rod utilizes the same mineral that is found in the hot springs in Japan that the kings and queen, the dynasties have used for beauty and vitality for thousands of years. Well, we get to use it, in the comfort of our own home for our own safety and our own beauty. So filtration and the mineral rod, and it can be used as a shower. It plugs right into your shower, takes like 2-3 minutes, or you can use it. There's a knob to change it for your bathtub, so you can just relax knowing that you're in a healthy, clean environment. So important because, again, health is not just one thing, it's many things. And this is such an important thing for those of us who have one of these. We absolutely love it. Your skin will love it. Your hair will love it. Your extremities will love it. And so for your babies, for your pets, bathing in it, again, pets are just like humans, right? They're animals, just like us. And so they're getting the best water to bathe in. This you can find, we can share with you more information, or you can go to our enagic.com website and go to products, and then you'll see the NESPA right down here. Since I'm here, I'm also going to share with you the Yukon, which is our turmeric product. Whoops, my bad. Not right there. The Yukon product is right here. Oh, they moved it on for me. What? I will try one more time right here. Here we go. So another modality of great health is having a strong antioxidant, and turmeric is a very high antioxidant, has over 9,000 studies. It can't be patented by a pharmaceutical company. Our company, Enagic, produces the best form of turmeric out there on the market, utilizing the Kangen Water technology. You saw that Jodie was swallowing some 11.5. It's a very high antioxidant water, but it's not designed for drinking. But if you were to drink it, as you see, you're not going to need to rush it off to go to the bathroom to throw it back up or call 911. So our company utilizes the Kangen water, strong waters that you saw, the 2.5 pH that disinfects, and the 11.5. So the turmeric product is absolutely amazing for health. Another form of, it's fortified with minerals and vitamins and oils, just other nutrients that the body needs that water just doesn't have. When you put all these together and you're practicing good health, you get better health, and the cost of it, the cost of the machines and the product, you saw what Jodie had put up there. That's an investment in our health. So when we do it for ourselves and we do it for our family and we share it with friends, our company, when we share it and our friends and family purchase or order these products, our company sends us a thank you check. And the thank you check is in the form of cash, or it's funds, monetary funds in whatever country that you're from. As we have people are in Canada, Mexico, and all over the world, US, doesn't matter. Our company is global and they'll send you a check. So if you purchase one of these machines or products, if we can help 9 other people do the same, your product is free. So that's another, in today's economy, I'm looking to not only just, make money, but to saving money. Saving money is making money. And so this is a way to get your products paid for easily. And we'll help do all the work. Just like every Tuesday, we're right here. Send the replay out. Have them contact you. Have them contact us. We'll help you place that order no matter where you're at in the world. Next Tuesday, we'll come back and we'll do the same thing with new information. There's always something new. Jodie does a great job at changing her slides, to add in some things that she might have not added 3 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago, and she feels, you know what, I need to talk about this, and it's all important. And so come and join us for the next one. Let us help you get your product today, because what you do today is definitely going to change your tomorrows, and we hope your tomorrows are better than they are today. So with that said, I want to go ahead and open up the mics and get help from our assistants, Rita and Jolene, to see if there's anything in the chat that we need to answer questions to. We're going to open up your mics. Feel free to ask any questions or make any comments, and we'll go from there, guys.
So there's only one question that was asked privately, which was if you can answer as to can you expound on why bottled dead water steals minerals from my body? So if anyone would like to answer that one, because Jodie made reference to living water, right? Because of course our water is considered living water. So how would
I'm going to let Jodie finish with her tomato and then answer that for us.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about my tomatoes lasting twice as long because I usually munch them up. So, bottled waters or reverse osmosis water or systems literally scrubs the water. I call it dead water because it takes out everything, good, bad, otherwise it takes it out of them. Some of the bottled waters will pitch a few minerals and stuff back into it, but a lot of them do nothing with it other than just leave it as reverse osmosis water. Water is living. Water has a memory. Water knows that it needs minerals, okay? And they have seen, there's a lot of studies and correlation to mineral deficiencies in the body of people who have been consuming bottled water for a long period of time, because it goes in with nothing to your body, but it knows it needs them. So as it goes through your body, it will attract those minerals and actually take them with it on the way out. So it's hard for the body, especially with these bottled waters. They either are throwing a bunch of stuff in it where we're now like trying to mitigate too much minerals. And then other times they're not putting anything in it, where then our body is like, okay, well, that's great. It just grabbed what it needed. So, what we found really blessed with the Kangen water is that we have those minerals back in the water. We have the things in the water that the body needs, and we have electrically zapped it. So it's no longer dead water. And if you do have a reverse osmosis system or something that you've invested in, we just work with you and whoever put that in to just remineralize it. And then it works fantastic with your Kangen unit. So that's never really a barrier. Sometimes it needs to be scrubbed, but there's ways to put things back in it so it doesn't become kind of a negative thing for us and what we're trying to accomplish.
Thank you for that.
I hope that made sense.
It did. Thank you so much. Just again, quick reminder for everybody, your best health, your better health starts soon as you decide that it's going to start. And we hope that it's today. We hope that it's right now. We hope that you get back and to the person who invited you and get one of these machines. At the very least, try if you have access to it, try the water. But because the benefits to the body and the testimonials that we have received, it's through the roof. You know, we can spend years literally on these calls here just talking about all the testimonials. And someday we'll do that. You know, we'll come together, we won't record, and we'll just share each other's, you know, testimonies, because the company doesn't want us to be putting that out there, you know, because we're not doctors and we're not prescribing. So I invite you to try the water, get the water, and then tell us, you know, what benefits you got out of it. Okay. All right, guys. If we don't have any other questions or any other comments, I'm going to let us go out there and start practicing it with other people, you know, better health and better wealth. And we're here for everybody. If you need us, contact us.
Let us know.
All right, guys.
Well.
Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now.